Life is all about the gray area undefined. Life is filled with parallels. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can choose to live your life out loud, or you can choose the in between or the middle of the road. Inside the gray area, that's where life happens. Welcome to Inside the Gray Area, sponsored by McGregor. Welcome back. I'm Leanne O'Brien, Chief Marketing Officer with the McGregor Organization, and our guest today is Susan Althans, the Director of Philanthropy with the McGregor Foundation. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So we know that the McGregor organization's been around for 147 years now, dedicated to supporting seniors and those both in the community and within our residential campus that is situated on 45 acres in the heights of and near Forest Hill. But tell us a little bit about the McGregor Foundation and how it got its start.
Sure, I'd be happy to. The foundation was founded in May of 2002, and since inception, over the last 22 years, we've awarded 777 grants totaling over $18.5 million to nonprofits in the Northeast Ohio community. McGregor Foundation is the only foundation in the state of Ohio that focuses exclusively on funding projects and initiatives that benefit older adults and those who serve them.
Fantastic. And sometimes you don't realize, how much of a difference you make until you see the impact of what those dollars do in our community.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So most people are familiar with foundations in the arena of fundraising. Let's talk more about how the McGregor Foundation is different and unique in that role.
I'd be happy to. McGregor is blessed to have a significant investment holding portfolio. And over the years, the board of directors has demonstrated their commitment to the broader community by allocating approximately $1 million per year to make grants back into the community to nonprofit organizations. And we feel fortunate to have those resources available to expand our reach and to improve the lives of many of the residents of our community.
So let's talk about some of the grants that we do award, and the impact that it's making both for that organization who received the grant, but probably even most importantly, what it's doing for the community they serve.
Sure. So we operate essentially on what we call a hub and spoke model. So we fund small and large organizations. And for the larger organizations, we know that some of the significant players in town in terms of meeting basic safety net services are the go-to resources for individuals in need of service. And we try to fund things that provide stability, wraparound services that allow seniors to remain independent and in their homes.
And there's really four areas of focus that the foundation is working toward.
Yes. The first and probably the largest group of grantees would be those who meet what we call affordable housing with services. So our goal is to keep seniors independent, as I mentioned, in their homes as long as is appropriate and that the seniors are safe. We have a large portfolio of wonderful nonprofits in our landscape here in Northeast Ohio that provide a range of services. It could be something from a local community center that offers senior programming. It could be the Legal Aid Society, the Greater Cleveland Food Bank that has a very robust senior nutrition initiative. And then there are other initiatives that you don't really think about. Home repair. What would be some others? Let's see. Senior Citizens Resources on the near west side. There are a huge, there's a large number of providers that may only focus on seniors, but there's some that focus on the whole age range, and there are community centers that serve everything from infants all the way to older adults. We exclusively fund the senior programming, but sometimes we find that that is embedded in another larger organization.
And we've gotten into other organizations like May Dugan or Flamenco's.
Yes.
The Spanish American Committee.
Right, right. And one grantee that's newer to us is Neighborhood Connections, and they focus on grassroots efforts and really raising the voice of local residents. And they're more likely to be neighborhood projects that have significant meaning to those residents in that community. And so those are smaller grants, but it could be anything from an intergenerational program to a gardening or a book club or something that has very unique significance to that group of residents in that community. And so we've really enjoyed getting to know that organization as well.
Yeah. And we're contributing more to projects, programs, services, as opposed to any capital improvements.
That is true, although from time to time we have made several capital commitments where, in the case of May Dugan, they were doing a major renovation for space that will hold the senior programming. And so we continue to focus on their services as well as providing them dollars to have the infrastructure to provide those services.
Yeah, absolutely. The we all know that our industry was certainly impacted, as many were during COVID, and shifting gears. Workforce,
Right.
workforce development, even within our own organization, not just externally in the community, but we've done a lot with our Leadership Academy and other programs that we're supporting internally. Talk a little bit more about our workforce.
So workforce across aging services is a challenge. There's no question. It's a challenge here at McGregor on our campus, at McGregor Pace, and as well as in the community. We, over the last 2 years, have partnered with 3 other long-term care organizations, Jennings Center for Older Adults, Eliza Jennings on the city's near west side, and Judson Senior Living, to launch what we call an Earn and Learn program. So what happens is that individuals enroll in an STNA, State Tested Nursing Association, STNA program, where they are paid by the respective organization to go through the training, which is also paid for. And then once they pass their certificate, their pay escalates to meet the demands in the market, if you will, and they're guaranteed a job. And so we've been fortunate to partner not just with the other 3 organizations, but our funding partners include the Deaconess Foundation and the Workforce Funders Group, which is a collaborative of a number of funders in the city. It's been a home run for all organizations. We've been able to bring in individuals and who then stay with the respective organizations, and they have a living wage with benefits and tuition reimbursement, and it's really been a success. And then we've built on that in terms of workforce by also partnering with the same organizations and those 2 funders, and we've launched what's called Arena Analytics, and it's an artificial intelligence platform by which we recruit and retain individuals, and it's all about finding the right match. And again, this is a sort of a national model, and we're proud to be a partner of it here at McGregor.
I mean, so far it's already made a huge difference
Yes.
in the candidates that are most likely
Right.
to fit into the roles at McGregor and have longevity on top of it.
Right. Right. So I also wanted to share a little bit about another funding priority, which is total quality of life. And you, Leanne, and I both enjoy things outside of McGregor, whether it's gardening or music or other social opportunities. And so we've really embraced this, and it really became very evident during the pandemic that seniors were becoming increasingly isolated. And that they were essentially victims of the digital divide, that they didn't have the tablets or phones or other means of communication. And so we received an increased number of requests to help promote social gatherings and ways to combat social isolation. So one of my favorites is at Karamu House, which is a national beacon in the performing arts community. We fund their senior tap dancing program. And if you think about it, it's a way to bring seniors into a group. It's recreation, it's socialization, it's cognitive functioning, and
Physical activity.
right,
Yeah.
and it's really been fun to see the performances, and we're thrilled to do that. We've also worked with other organizations for digital programming, whereby seniors can tune in through a tablet or some other device that they've been gifted, or even in a community center, and there's digital programming. So one organization, Neighborhood Centers, has essentially 18 hours of programming a day, including nighttime stories, bedtime stories. And so they're drawn into a community whereby they share listening to someone who's reading a nighttime story. And if you think of it, the end of the day is a lonely day,
Yes.
a lonely
Yes.
part of the day, especially in a Cleveland
When the
dark
sun
winter.
sets, yep.
And so we have really been pleased to see iConnect, which is the name of the program, really blossom. And it's been a wonderful way to engage seniors. They're also taught how to use the technology, because that unto itself
Can be a
is a
challenge.
challenge.
Yeah.
And also total quality of life along those lines. We've found that the libraries are very trusted anchor in communities, including here in East Cleveland.
Right.
And they run programming for seniors to come in and learn how to use the devices. And they're safe places for seniors to get to.
Sure.
It's likely they're on a transportation line, and so they could take a bus or whatever
Right.
to get there.
Right.
And just the value of you and me sitting here and what that means in your day, and the value that's gained by seniors doing just that.
Yeah, the libraries have become a great resource, even to the point of delivering, books or books on tape or
Right.
resources like that to individuals, as you mentioned, that may not live on a transportation line, can't get to that location easily. And then some of the other programs that McGregor is supporting
Right.
lends itself to better access for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I also wanted to add that we fund a number of things in the community. We know that it's our role to play to leverage our resources here at McGregor. So there could be efforts across the community, whether it's senior programming in the metro parks or something like that, that we feel that we need to play a role. One area that we've really grown our grant making is through our strategic plan here at McGregor. Advocacy has become a really important issue. And we know that although we are fortunate to be in a fiscally sound and positive situation, there are other organizations and agencies locally, regionally, at the state level and national level that really can harness what's needed to tackle on issues, whether it's food insecurity, whether it's public benefits, mental health and addiction. Those are huge issues, and we want to be at the table. And so we found that by making grants to Grantmakers in Aging, Leading Age Ohio, the Mental Health and Addiction Advocacy Coalition, that those are institutions and people who really know how to get things done. And those have been, we try to make that about 20% of our grant making, feeling that that increases our reach back into the community and the impact it has on not only the older adults, but the workforce issues as well, as you mentioned earlier.
Right. So there's so many things happening at the grassroots, and as you said, we want to be at the table as well. So let's talk a little bit about, we're always interested in finding out about these new projects and programs. And so give us some tips on how they access the McGregor Foundation or make an application for a grant.
Right. So the McGregor Foundation has 2 grant cycles per year. We have an August 1, which is right around the corner, which is hard to believe, August 1 deadline for a November distribution committee meeting, and I'll chat about that in a little bit.
Sure.
And then we have a February 1 deadline for an April meeting. And we have an online application. It's very straightforward. I've worked with the foundation now for 22, this will be 23 years, and I try to be as transparent as possible and to make it really an easy grant application to complete. The way then that we function is our larger McGregor board has 24 members, and 8 of those directors sit on the distribution committee. And they ultimately, although I review the requests and I do site visits and do all the background information, seek fact finding, then they review the requests and determine based on our budget what those allocations would be. And sometimes there are tough decisions to make.
I bet. Yeah.
And the need in the community is so large, especially post-pandemic, as programming has been retooled a little bit too. And the cost of living keeps rising, and the number of seniors in Cuyahoga County is increasing. And so there's a much greater need. So those decisions are made, and then we convey the decisions to the grant seekers. And again, try to be as transparent as possible. Sometimes it is necessary, instead of just having an evergreen grant every year, to say to a grantee, I'm sorry, we need to take a break, just because there are new projects that come along. Again, we try to give them a little runway so that they know that funding may be paused for a year.
Right.
Or
But you
that
give them a good start.
we try to.
Yeah.
And there are new players on the scene, and sometimes there are organizations, perhaps there's a change in transition in their leadership or staffing that impacts programming, and it's just
Sure.
right to take a step back.
Yeah.
So
Can't help everybody all at
no,
once, right?
no, right,
Yeah, we
right,
have to try to kind of spread it out. So, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm always on the other end of the phone, or happy to hop on a Teams meeting
Sure.
with staff if they want to bounce ideas off of me. And I feel very fortunate to do what I do. And it's been interesting to see how even the agencies that we fund through the foundation touch the lives of our McGregor PACE participants who are in the community,
Yep.
or even here on the
On the
McGregor campus.
Yeah.
For instance, we have a food pantry through the Greater Cleveland Food Bank here on our campus exclusively for our staff and residents, and that's been an incredible partnership as well. Legal Aid has held legal clinics here at McGregor. And
that's been taken advantage of not just by the external community, but our residents and even some of our own employees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then another role that we play is as a convener. I sit on the Center for Community Solutions Council on Older Persons, and that is comprised of a number of leaders in aging services across the county. And it's a wonderful way to learn what others are doing. But then we also offer McGregor's wonderful campus here as an opportunity for a place for meetings or convenings or think tank sort of sessions to really consider the landscape and what's next. And sometimes that's tied to elections too, and hosting public official outings here and hearings and things like that has really been a wonderful way for us to sort of keep our presence in the larger community known, not to mention to bring people on this incredible campus and showcase what we do here at McGregor.
And it keeps our own residents engaged in that community philosophy as well. So
Right.
some of them may not be able to always get out and about on their own, and by bringing a lot of those opportunities and events to our campus helps to expand their connections as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of information that we can stories that we can share and tell about our foundation and what our organization does. It just speaks, I think, to the diversity of the projects, the programs, the services that we offer here in Northeast Ohio and Greater Cleveland. And as you mentioned, we're blessed to be able to continue,
Right.
giving back to the community and to our other partners that we work with, which are vast. I mean, there's quite a number of organizations that we partner with for the greater good. So
Absolutely. And I'm happy to say that thanks to the good work of some of our summer interns, we've been able to showcase some of our grantees. And it's a wonderful way for us to demonstrate to the community what we support. And everyone can take a look. Anyone can take a look at the website and navigate through that, and you'll see the range of grants, everything from something like Big Hearted Blooms, which recycles flowers from special
Yeah.
events and then distributes them to organizations that serve older adults in small.
Brightens their day.
It sure does. And human contact. So everything from a small organization like that all the way up to an organization like Legal Aid. And so we're happy to showcase that, and it demonstrates to the community and to other funders and other people who may take a liking to another nonprofit, and we're happy to do that.
Well, thank you for sharing all that good news, Susan.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining Inside the Gray Area. We're here to answer all your questions and share some interesting insights. I'm Leanne O'Brien. We look forward to seeing you next time, and be sure to follow us on social media and our YouTube channel.